Well, excited to be in week 2. You know, I've said historically, I think teams make the best improvement for the most improvement from week 1 to week 2, and certainly we're looking forward to working that way and doing that. I think the competition ratchets up a little bit. Tulane's a bowl team from a year ago, and if you watch their game against Tulsa, they had really every opportunity to win the game and probably should have won. So playing at their place in the first ever game in a new home stadium, I'm sure they're going to be jacked up and ought to be a fun atmosphere, so hopefully our guys are ready to go play.
Offensively, they have two young players that made their first starts and had two really good first games, the quarterback and the running back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that they're both good players. The running back has a lot of speed. He accumulated over 200 yards. Of course, 90 of them came on one carry. But you can see when he gets in the open field, he's very elusive. And I was impressed with the freshman quarterback. I thought he was accurate for the most part and stood in there and played with a lot of poise.
Coach, for a first game with a first-time starter and so many new starters also in the backfield as well, you didn't put the ball on the ground at all. You didn't turn the ball over. That's got to be a good sign heading into this week.
Yeah, I mean our team has been pretty good at that this camp, and you know, in the first game, hopefully it'll carry over because it was the kind of game if you turn the ball over, you could have found yourself on the short end with limited possessions, and that's something if you can stay away from. If we can stay away from turning the ball over, you know, you're always going to be in the game, I think, with the nature of the way we play. It's going to be hard for people to get away from us.
Did you get what you wanted from your front seven in game 1?
I thought the interior guys played well. You know, it's a different style game. You're asking the defensive ends to do some things that, you know, normally they're upfield guys, pass rushers, that kind of thing. And we were asking them to squeeze blocks and try to cancel and get 2 for 1. And, you know, I thought they did okay. I wouldn't say it was great. I think our linebackers they'd be the first to tell you they could play better. Only because not that they played poorly, but we expect a lot out of Quayshawn. He's played a lot, and he's one of the better players on the team. It'll be good to get Tyler McCourtis back healthy. I think hopefully we'll get a week of practice out of him. He was a little rusty, and then we get Anthony Harrell back, which will help some too.
Because of the flow of the game, you only went with your 5 starting offensive linemen. Is this a game where you maybe like to see a couple of the others?
We intended to play more guys in the last game, but like I said, we only had 59 plays, and then, you know, towards the end there was no reason to put guys in to kill the clock or take a knee. So it was, yeah, we'll play more guys this game. I think we'll be committed to at least at a couple of positions up there. We need to get a look at a couple other guys.
How big was it for DeAndre to kind of get the juices flowing, get in the end zone, have a big game right out of the gate?
Yeah, well, I think it's good for him. We think he's a really good player. He had a good camp. You know, he started out like a ball of fire a year ago, and then he kind of hit a wall a little bit. I think he got tired and got run down. So we've got to make sure that we try to keep him healthy and keep him going because he's clearly a weapon if we can do that.
I know Coach Roof is looking for some depth along the defensive line. What did you see from Pat Gamble?
I thought Pat probably played one of his best games. He was pretty stout in there. You know, he did a good thing. Really defensively, probably the 3 guys who played the best were Sean Green and Gotsis and Pat. They probably inside, you know, the stats might not reflect it, but they played pretty good. They were probably a little better than the guys they were playing against, so it was a little bit easier for them in there.
Obviously, when you talk about going into a new place, do you do anything different on your end to kind of tell your team that obviously they're going to be pumped up, and can it even be an advantage when a team is so worked up over an occasion that I'm talking about the home team?
Yeah.
You might can have a little advantage coming into that.
Our team knows that it's a new stadium and we're going in there, and they'll be excited. I mean, you know, they read the paper, they know, should say read the internet, I guess. But I don't know if it's a plus or a minus or whatever. You just got to go play. You know, through the years, I've tried to worry about our team and not the other team. Just get yourself ready to go play and play with some intensity and some focus. And the guys that historically are the best players, in my opinion, are guys that couldn't tell you if there's 30,000 people there or 100,000 people there. They get themselves ready to go, and they get dialed into a zone, and you get blocked out. I mean, even from a coaching stand, I couldn't tell you how many people. When you're into the game, you don't. It never occurs to you. You're just trying to focus on what you got to do.